Hi there, welcome to the Paint with Josh show. We're going to be doing a cool little seascape for you today. So we're going to take my ultramarine blue, I'm going to start dropping it on way up here in the sky. And the more, excuse me, excuse me, the more that we drop on this paint into our sky and let it interact with our liquid white paint that's out there on the canvas, the more it will blend down and become less and less and less and less. Let's mix some down over here. We'll see what we get by the time we get done this mixing. The whole time, all it's doing is just mixing in with our liquid white underneath. You gotta have a wet base coat if you want anything to work out for you. It's gotta be wet. You cover over this little lighter colored area, basically ensuring that there's less paint in that spot than anywhere else. And you just literally blend it until you like how it looks, right? Then we'll cover the sides. Always gotta cover the edges, at least with a little bit of color out there. You guys gotta check in, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Let me know out there in the comments below. Look at that cool little sky. Let's get a little touch of black though. Just a little bit. I want to come from this side actually. Yeah, got a little bit of black paint and let it mix down. Just changing our color up a little bit. Let's get a little bit more of that sucker actually. Maybe a little touch of our purple. Let's see. Nope, no purple, just black. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we gotta have that deeper, darker under part to our sky. And then we'll have some cloudy shadows that we can put down over the top of that little guy. So all I gotta do, or all you gotta do, is just check in, tell me where you're watching from out there in the night. The more you intermix that black paint in with our blue sky, the more it's going to go nuts for you, right? The more it's all going to mix in and all be the same amount of coloration. So welcome to the Paint with Josh show. I'm Paint with Josh, nice to see you. We're gonna be doing a cool little seascape in this painting. Nice and fun and easy. And you should be able to follow along and do the exact same thing with our wet on wet oil paints, right? Let's take our white paint, a bunch of titanium white. Let's pop it up here and just literally try to get it to come off the canvas, right? We don't need anything crazy. Doesn't have to be a perfect shape. We're just trying to get the brush and the paint that's on the brush to come off of the brush and stick to the canvas. That's it. Make a big old mess up here and just see what happens. Because you don't need to have the perfect thing, right? What is the perfect cloud? What is it? I don't know. Can you tell me? The perfect cloud are the imperfections in all these little bits of white, the shadows, the light areas, the dark areas. That's your imperfections, right? The imperfections make it perfect. Excellent. Excellent, right? Out there, mix it down so it's nice and soft. You can almost barely even tell that anything is going on out there. What if we pop in a whole nother little flat little floater down here? It's just literally just a little floater out there in the night, right? The more you mix it up, the more it's gonna disappear. So we get to determine what it looks like by how brightly that we leave it out there. Really cool, really simple, really easy. Let's get back in here. Little touch of black, a little bit of our blue, okay? A lot more paint on the brush than there was up in the sky there. Let me done dare tell you, okay? Now we've got to come back here and try to paint the hardest thing known to mankind's existence, which is painting a straight, level horizon, just free-handedly making it nice and straight, right? So, if you can do that easier, then good on you. But it usually takes people a little while to make that little straight line. And then you just tell me, is that level across the back of our horizon or not, right? Let me know, is it level or is it not? As we adjust it a little bit. There. Right? You can allow that back to kind of blend in with the sky, but don't have too much. Right? You need to have a nice line back there, a nice little crisp edge in order for our horizon, which is now flat and level, to stay back there, right? And again, it's a bit darker in the blue. We can even make it darker by adding some more black in there and just allowing it to remain dark way on the back horizon. Right? We don't need it to be too bright way back there. Now, we're going to let it mix in with our liquid white, of course, okay? Then we're gonna go into a lighter color. And in this sense, let's just go back to the blue, okay? Get that blue underneath. Let it mix in, and then we'll throw our sand down there too, okay? Bang, a little bit of a blue, lighter blue patch underneath that guy. Now, if you ever run into an issue with that center beam, just kind of push out towards you, okay? And then blend that sucker away. And you've gone very simply and very easily. I'm gonna get one more touch of color, just there. Just want it to be a little bit darker and a little bit lower on our one side, a little bit higher up on our other side, making a triangle, right? It's flat along the top to a point, and then we got our flat edge over here, got our blue stuff, and now even straight onto the brush without even washing it. Going to our dark color and our bright color. All right, so we've got our light brown and our dark brown. We don't want to have too much of either, boy. Let me tell you, now the more heavily that you place it onto the canvas, the darker your sandy beach is going to be. The lighter amount of paint that you use, the lighter your sandy beach is going to be. So you want to have a dark brown Oregon sandy beach, or do you want to have a light kind of white sandy Florida beach, right? All up to you every time you go to paint it. Now, we're not going to worry about too much of our sand just yet, because by the time we get back there, why don't we just sit here and blend it out anyway, right? Blend it out, blend it out. Now, we're going to do our sandy technique by speckling in all of our little sprays, but that comes later on. Thank you so much, I appreciate you. That comes later on, so we don't need to worry about doing our little sandy specks. All we need is to have a nice blended out little beachy area right there, okay? Now, let's go back in with our palette, excuse me, our palette tool. Looks a lot like this, right? Just an old palette tool. They come in many different shapes and sizes. This is the Paint with Josh one. Okay, we're gonna come out here, take a little bit of our titanium white, we're gonna flatten it down, and you guys just check in one more time, and I'm gonna come back and read the comments right now. Check in, tell me where you're watching from. Hi, Joel. I was watching your live earlier today. Thanks for being here. Yeah, this one's coming out cool. Guys, I can already see it. We got Indiana, Iowa, North Carolina, Jersey, Texas, Georgia, Canada, Scotland, Georgia, Arkansas, Smithville, West Virginia, South Africa, Indiana, Cali, Georgia, Washington, Texas, New Mexico, Florida, Chile. Oh, man. Here we go. Connecticut, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, man, Wisconsin, Chicago, New York, Michigan. You guys are all over the place out there, let me tell you. We're going to scrape up a little bit of our titanium white on the edge of our blade. Let's drop down about 1/4 inch underneath and put it right in the middle, right? Just because the very first contact that's out here is going to drop off the most amount of paint. And then you can take that guy, if there's any left, and spread it further and further and further up and up and up, almost to the tip of our horizon. See how it's a little bit lower down here, a little bit higher up over there? So we can come back in here and just very lightly scrape around. Again, you don't want to reach the very back of your horizon. You just want to have a couple little white caps, a couple little things, couple little imperfections, and we get a few more as we get over here because we have more space, just by a little. But there is more space over there, right? So you get a couple more things happening back here. You don't need every bit to be touching. It doesn't have to go all the way to the back of the horizon with all the white. Otherwise, it would just be all white, right? Now, let's imagine we got this big rolling thing. It's crashing at us the whole time, rolling over, right? So over here, we're gonna have lots of splash. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come and touch the line and take away our palette knife, right? Touch, 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 little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, until it ends up coming off of the blade. We don't have any more left, okay? That's made it a little bit brighter and thicker in this one area right here, in which case, we're going to start from way over here. We're going to very lightly just kind of cast over, grabbing the paint that's already there and just having it roll over and down. Over and down, over and down. Now, if it's very thick, it's gonna wanna roll very far, right? If it's just a little amount of paint, it's not gonna wanna roll very far at all. Now, we can cover up as many of these little things as we want. They don't all have to stay there. And the rest of this wave can also be falling, right? Different ways, here, there, everywhere. It can literally come straight down if you wanted to, right? Just like that. All we're looking for is that part where it's rolling over, okay? And then the whole rest of the area is all gonna be those splashers, right? You know, those little splashy action bits. Now, every little place out here is gonna have some form of crash. Boom, just a little bit, right? We don't need to see a lot, we don't need a ton, but all these little guys have rolled over and we're just getting this little coming towards us, okay? Now, in order to make that, we need our liquid white, which is a very runny paint in its consistency compared to the thicker titanium white, right? So we take our liquid white, we run it into our titanium white, and we make them nice and goopy together, right? One is too thick, one is too thin. So you have to kind of make them both a mixture of themselves, mix them together. Now, we can literally start anywhere, and all we're gonna do is just kind of tap right at the bottom of that thing. If you can leave a little bit of space in between, okay. Don't have to. We can come over here, we can get up higher above our horizon, right? Just smacking at the canvas. Smack, 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 smack. We're gonna take it and brush it out. So don't worry about what it looks like. Get up in there, splash. We're gonna get bigger, further away from our little area over here, making bigger splotches and bigger mess. And it's all happening, all these crazy little things, okay? Now what we're gonna do is go back in, even with your big old 2-inch brush, right? Do this whole painting with a 2-inch brush, a fan brush, and a little palette tool. I'm gonna start mixing it very lightly. We're gonna go back and do this twice, so don't worry about what it looks like. Don't over mix it too many times on your first go, right? Just get out there, throw it out there, and be like, okay, that looks like a whole bunch of crazy crashing stuff because it's all different, right? Now let's go back and do it again. Take our liquid white on our fan brush, about 1/4 inch of the way up the bristles, roll it through all that titanium white. So you get a good mix of both, and then you can get out here and start smacking on a couple little details. Not as many, right? Not near as many as we did the first time. And then when we go back and mix it up, we're gonna mix it up even less than we did the first time. Smacking it, smacking it, smacking it. There's a bit of skin right there. There we go. All you need, a little bit of titanium white, a little bit of our liquid white, in order for it to brush out, right? If you have too much liquid white, it's going to brush away instantly and will no longer be there, right? If you got too much titanium white, it's not gonna stick on in the first place, right? There, that big old bunch of crashiness. Don't those look like waves? Just let me know. Let me know in the comments now. And stick with me because we're about to scrape in the surf, right? That foamy nonsense that sits around the bottom. So let's scrape up our titanium white / liquid white mix, okay? We're gonna want about a 90-10 mix. So 90% liquid white, 10% titanium white. And then we get to come back in and decide how far away our wave is. If we put our splashers way up here, our little line way up there, then that makes our waves very small. If we put it down around the bottom, it makes them a little bit bigger. So what if we started out here and we just start scraping in? See how I'm up into the wave already? That way I can cut down, not only helping my perspective, but also giving myself more surf, more stuff in front of the wave. And the further I take this little line out, right, the more space and the more tumultuous water is in front of that wave. So then we can come down here, wiggling, jiggling. It's only about about a 1/4 inch at a time each jiggle, right? Kind of wiggling, jiggling down, taking it back up, back towards that water, that splashiness. You don't have to go all the way up in there, right? But you can get a couple little things happening back there. And if they're all at different heights, it's gonna make it look like the waves are crashing in different places, or we've got brighter areas in some places and not in others, right? They're gorgeous. Look at all that mess, all that nonsense, right? Are you sitting out there trying to paint every single little tiny detail when you can literally scrape in, and as long as you stop before, you know what I mean? You have to know when to stop. And as long as you can stop in time, you can literally scrape in this whole big mess. Come down here, it's very runny, very wet paint, very texturous too. If you can leave a nice little fat ridge on it like that, you're gonna have some awesome texture by the time it dries. And you'll be able to literally feel the ridge of water in there with it, right? So if you scrape over it too much, you take away all those little ridges, right? So it's all up to you and what you want it to look like, not me. This is my painting, right? When you do yours, it's gonna be your painting. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be wildly different. So don't expect them to be the same, okay? I'm telling you right now, don't expect them to be the same. We're just gonna throw a couple little more splashers over the end over there. Because even every time that I do it, I can't even make it the same as I did it the last time. So how can yours be exactly the same as mine, right? Don't fret about it. Don't trip. Don't worry, right? It's gonna be yours. It's gonna be wicked cool. Now that we're down to the very bottom of that light blue area and all we have is beach left, we're going to do our awesome little sand technique, you guys. Have you ever seen the sand technique come to life? Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen the sand Sand, Murray, the sand. I'm gonna bring this guy down even further. There we go. So we can get it further down, extending it more and more, so it's on this very slight downward angle as we go down like that. Not straight across and not supremely angled, just a little slight little angle back in there. Gorgeous, you guys. So the more that you scrape on it, the more you're gonna intermix them all together, so you kind of gotta stop when it's time to stop. Okay, and then we'll do our sand technique. So let's get our liquid white out again. Get that liquid white. We're gonna need more than that. We're gonna need more than that, Joshy. There we go. Liquid white. Oh, it's foul. There's a big old chunk of skin in there that's gonna try to ruin our painting. Okay. Now they call it liquid white because it's very, very, very runny, very wet, okay, compared to that titanium white. So we're gonna take about 90% of our liquid white to 10% titanium white. We're gonna mix this guy up. We're gonna flatten it down. Get that last little bit of skin out of there. How many little bits of skin do I got in my liquid white? There we go. Now it's very runny. It's not pure liquid white, but it's very runny, even in compared to that runny paint back there. Okay, and what we're gonna do is come out here, and there's two ways to do this, okay? You can either start out here, right underneath, and start scraping in, back and forth, trying to deposit the paint and leaving a little separation or a little gap in between. Or you come down in here like this, okay? This is the easier thing for people to do. Right? So I suggest you do this. All we're doing is scooping up the paint onto the one side, turning that side to the canvas, and then plopping it on. Getting longer and longer and longer the more and more we go to the right. Now let me show you how these are both the same. Wipe off the blade so there's nothing there. Come down in here, and even with that same thing, right? It's the same amount of paint. Even off that little thing back there, okay? So even off our little scrapey rolls, same amount of paint as we put right here. So come back. The only way to mess this up, guys, is if you allow these two bits of white paint to touch, right? We got white paint on top, we got white paint on the bottom, and if they come together, then guess what? We're not gonna know the difference between the two, okay? So get it on there, it's very wet, you're just mushing it, pushing it on, longer on the right, less on the left. Again, making a little triangle, okay? Now we'll come out here, we'll tap, we'll pull down very lightly, but let's have a clean dry brush. So let's dab this off on a paper towel, just real good, right? We can dab it off 20, 30, 50 times on a paper towel. We can take away the color off the brush, right? So it's still tainted there, but there's not too much that's gonna darken our light color that's there now, right? As you can see, I'm gonna do this one thing, and then I'm gonna ask you guys, like we always ask, does this look like wet, sandy beach by the time I get done doing this, okay? So all I wanna ask you is let me finish doing this right here. And then we're gonna try not to touch this water above. Do not let them touch like I just did, right? And then I'm gonna ask you one more time. Does this look like that wet, sandy, beachy area that we all know and love? Or if not, you tell me what you think it looks like, right? What do you think that looks like out there? Wet, sandy beach? Maybe something else? What do you think? Waterfall? Okay. This one, this one could get uploaded. It could. What if we did this and we drug all those little vertical streaks into horizontal streaks, and we take all those little streaky poos away? You get that very wet, watery, sandy area. Now, in order to make it look correct, we've got to come back in and shrink our dark separator. Okay, so if we came back like this, and we started scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping almost all the way down to the beach. Remember, the color is very similar, so you do not want to let them touch, right? Otherwise, you won't be able to tell what is water and what is sand if you let those two bits of white paint touch. Okay, so we come back in here, just scrape it down. A lot of times, just using the paint that's already there, right? Working it back down like a millimeter at a time until it's low enough. Right over the top of the separation, you get this little teeny tiny shadow out there, guys. And it just ends up looking so stinking real. Okay, now let's come out here. Let's grab a little touch more of our liquid white, plop it down into our titanium white section. All right, so we've got that liquid white. Let's get a little touch of titanium white, maybe 5% this time, barely any. We don't need a whole lot. We just don't like using the pure liquid white, right? But it's very, very, very close to pure liquid white. Now let's come out here. We don't have to match this exactly, but we do have to kind of match that downward angle, right? So let's start over here, right, like that. Just about straight across from wherever your other line was, start, right? And then we'll go pushing And we'll go down a little bit. And you can see the paint does not go forever. It eventually falls off the blade, in which case you go back and you get a little bit more, and you start your scrapey scrapes, and you're coming down, just scraping, trying to leave this little white ridge out on the front, because that's gonna be our foamy details. It does not have to be extremely thick. It does not have to be the same across the whole thing, right? And all we're doing is going slightly down, matching our angle above. So it's like a parallel line, right? Like train tracks that just run along forever. And obviously it doesn't have to be perfect, but a couple little train tracks out there running along. And then let's say I wanted to get some details way up here. Am I gonna just take my thing and go vertical right here? No, no. I'm gonna start there and go down until I reach my little line again, right? Then what happens if we started up here and we went down this way and we crisscross right in front? Little thing, right? Some of these little guys, they got so many little things crisscrossing out there, moving around, little bits, but they're very horizontal. They're not vertically taken up to the top of the wave. Remember that. And the more that you do, the more you kind of take away from that very shiny, sandy area. So don't do too much. And again, horizontal, and work down little Z shapes, just like that. Remember, not everywhere's got to be the same. Doesn't all have to be perfect. And just like that, guys. Doesn't that look like that wet, sandy area? Now, let's get into our sand, okay? We're gonna clean off the brushes, and then we're gonna get into the sandy specks. So if you like this painting, you better head over and check it out. We've got it available. It's there for you, right on my homepage, right? And the mods will tell you how to get there. Very simply, very easily, you can find this painting. It's right there on the very front of my place over there. So you just go to my name, Paint with Josh, and then you put the period, and then you put the C, and then the O, and then the M across the thing. It's how you get to every place on the interweb. You guys already know how. Very lightly dragging across those little guys so they become even softer, right? Very cool. If this line is too white for you in the front, you can come up here and grab it, just right off the back, and just take it away just very lightly. All we're looking for is that one little indication of some foam out there on the front that got stuck, okay? Now we'll come back with our fan brush. We're gonna switch to a smaller one because a smaller one's going to flick off smaller bits of stuff, yeah? Let's get a little touch of our odorless mineral spirits, which is our brush cleaner. And then we're gonna go into our black mix or your plaque mix, whichever, right? And we're gonna tap it on the edge. Now, as you can see, it's very watery, right? It becomes very watery, this paint. Where's the light? There we go. You see all that watery stuff? It's very much like watercolor, okay? Or very, very, very wet acrylic, but this is the oils, and we're using our paint thinner. Now, if your mix is not correct, you're gonna throw a bunch of paint thinner at the canvas and not any black specks. So make sure you got the right enough mix. Let's test it somewhere off the canvas. You can even test it down here, right? A couple little black specks that flew off, perfect. I can tell they're gonna be the right size and the right amount of little speckles as we crisscross them across our little canvas. Boom, just like that, right here in the front. Now, we're not only just gonna do black, we're gonna do brown, and then we're gonna do white. And by the time that we do the white specks, that's when it really starts looking like sand. So just trust me, trust me. A little bit of our odorless mineral spirits, and then our dark sienna brown, so it becomes, again, very watery in its consistency, okay? We're gonna, again, test it. Right there, cool. I can see it. Come out here, toss in these little brown specks. Not too many, not too many. Just like that. Not too many, as you can see. Now we're gonna hit it with one more color. And then I wanna ask you, after we put this on, right, then does it look like this wet sandy beach? Okay, so again, taking the liquid white, which is almost as watery as the other paints. It's a little bit more firm. And we're gonna come back here, we're gonna come up here first. We can start speckling on these little specks of white onto our crashing watery waves. Now the more specks you put up there, the more they're gonna fill in all those little spaces and gonna make everything almost impossible to see. So you've gotta be the judge about how many little speckles that we're putting up here. The more that we put up there, the more we can see stuff, right? So how far away are your waves? How close do you want them to be? How many details? All up to you. Little specks, okay? So it's looking like watery spray out there. Now we're gonna do the same thing, but down here in the sand. And I want you to tell me, does this look like wet, sandy beach? The more we flick in these little white, watery specks of stuff, the more it starts looking like sand, guys. I'm telling you, I'm being 1,000,000% truthful and honest. It does. The more you do, the more it starts speckling out these little white specks, dude. You get these cool little bits of sand, and all of them start blending together. Bang! These really neat little things. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that quite literally amazing? Boom, right? Anything that's back in here will look either like bubbles or little bits, or if you don't like them, you can quite honestly take them away very easily, right? All it is that paint thinner and the odorless mineral spirits, which will wipe away and look very glossy. Very glossy. Very cool, guys. Out here, fix down onto that little dude. Put our white wherever we don't want, or wherever we do want to see something. Bang, right down there. Fantastic, you guys. Okay, you start coming up with a title for that one. I am going to start cleaning up all the brushes that we used, which were basically 3 tools, a 2-inch brush, a fan brush, and our palette tool. That's it. And then we're gonna grab a liner brush to make our signature with. So let's do that, guy. We'll wash these off. You guys come up with a title for this painting. If you purchase it during the live show, you get to pick the title forever. It becomes your painting, and you get to tell me what to write on the back of it. If nobody gets it during the live show, then we have to come up with it as a group together, right? So let's start pumping out those title suggestions. What do you think this one would be called? And if you like it, you go to Paint with Josh, right? It's my place over there. Here we go. Gorgeous. Paint with Josh. Head over there, and you'll find what you're looking for right on the homepage. You don't even have to look very far. It's right there. So, this is how I make my living, guys. I don't get money from TikTok videos. I don't get stuff from being a digital creator or whatever, right? Like, I sell paintings. So, if you like this is what we do all the time. Be sure that you come back and watch our next show. That's pretty much it, right? And the next one will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. on the East Coast. And it only took literally maybe 40 minutes, and I was going nice and slow to paint this one, maybe less actually. Just throw the old bird fam out there flying in over the surf, man. Ooh, he's fantastic. All right, you guys come up with a title real quick. And like I said, if you purchase it, you're not only gonna keep my lights on and help feed me, but you'll get this awesome painting, and then you get to title it whatever you want, right? So, grab it during the live show, come back, let us know what we're gonna call it. And man, that's really cool. I like it. I like it, guys. I like it, I like it, I like it. So, let me know if you like it by letting me know what your title would be. What would you want to call this painting out there in the night? Very cool. Craving Waves. White Noise, I like it. I like it. Let's flip you guys around real quick just so I can see you and you can see the canvas. There we go. And I can read your comments from back here. Perfection, you guys. Look at that. Look at that. Crush. Distant Memories. Serenity. Serenity. Washed Up Shore. White Splosh. Wash Ashore. Silent Waves. Just Breathe. Crashing Out. I like that one. Marie. Marie. Uh-oh. Is that the right one? Crashing Out. That's in the lead right now. Speckled Shores. That's a great one. Day at the Beach. Catching the Waves, bro. Misty Shores. Serenity. Grief's Memory. I like All Washed Up. That's cool. That is cool. Paint a body on the shore. Let's see. Ocean Vibes. I dig it. That's cool. Ooh, Solitude. That's a cool title right there. Gloomy Days. I dig it. On the Surface. Tranquil Coast. I do like All Washed Up. That's really funny. Calming Rush. Wave Action. Ocean Movements. Distant Memories is cool too. Three Little Birds. Ocean Paradise. Yes! Castaway. That's wicked cool too. This one takes the lead as of right now. Taking the lead, Castaway. Remember, if you purchase the painting, you get to decide the title. Just putting that out there. Boom, Life's Blessings. That's cool. Whitewater Calmness. Calming Rush. Galveston. I dig it. I dig it. Seascape Serenity. Excellent. Fading Away. Blue Skies. Out there. Serenity. So this one is $259. It's on an 18 by 24 inch canvas. Comes with free shipping and packaging all included. And it'll probably be dry in about 3-4 days from now, and then maybe take 4 days to get to you in the mail. So you're looking at about a week, maybe getting it next Thursday or Friday if you ordered it today. We've got a very easy way or a cool way about how we dry these oil paintings faster, and we can get them out in the mail. So that is a secret, though. Tranquil, that's cool. Uh-oh. Super realistic. I like the Waves of Freedom. Actually, that's cool because of today. I wasn't going to mention, like, we've done 9/11 paintings before, and, you know, I don't want to do the topical stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, and then if you do it, you make some people happy, you make other people angry, and it's like, whatever. I'm just going to, you know, I love everybody. I love all the first responders. I'm so sorry about what happened. Terrible, terrible day in U.S. history, but I just didn't want to bring it up again. You know what I mean? I do ship to Australia, in fact. We ship worldwide. I believe it's 66 USD for anywhere international, right? So add about 66 to whatever the total is, and that would be international shipping with that, and that covers literally everywhere. And it's the same whether it's going, you know, right up here to Canada or all the way to Australia. It's the same international flat fee, and that covers the box and the shipping costs and everything to get over there. Tranquil Drift. That's cool. That's cool. Doom. Need some more tutorials on you. I need more tutorials on YouTube. Have you been to my YouTube? I have more than 2,600 videos. 2,600 videos. You tell me I need more? I need more? You are handsome. Well, thank you. I love Jesus. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I need more tutorials on you. Really? Really? Okay. I mean, we go live on YouTube every day. The same as TikTok, every day, except for Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's 5 new tutorials a week. Most of my stuff is in the live section if you go check out my tube. If you're just looking at the videos section or like the home screen or whatever, you're not going to see them all because we do everything live on camera. So, love your pen. Thanks, Michelle. All right, you're amazing. Let's pick right in front of my 2,600 tutorials. Really? Okay. Now let's go through, light them up one more time, and I swear I'm going to pick a title, right? I'm gonna look like this for like 15 seconds. And the very first time I do this, whatever painting, whatever title I see is going to be the title, right? So, crashing out. That's awesome. All right, ready? Here we go. I'm going to do it. Your title has to pop up right when I look at it in 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Solemn Surf. I love it. That came out cool. Nice title. I dig it. That's how you get randomly selected over here on the Paint with Josh show, by the way. Just quite as easily as that. Solemn Surf. I like it because we're out here alone. Nobody else on the beach. Very solemn. Now, is this number 2049, mods? I am once again confused. I've been doing way too many paintings recently. Let's see. Remember, this is what we do every single night, guys, except for Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So this is my Monday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are my nights to work. I hope you're here and checking it out. Is it 2048, Cosmic? Anybody? Did you 2049? Oh, wow. Thank you, TMH. Appreciate you, my bro. 2049. Niner. Right there. That means we've done 2,049 paintings. That is insane. What are we calling this one again? Solemn Surf. I like it. Wicked cool. Wicked cool. Painted on 9/11/2024. We're all going to go to Paint with PaintWithJosh.Camel. And that's where you can find all the paintings, all of the merch, the shirts, the hats, the puzzles, the bags, the backpacks, the duffel bags, all the stuff to carry your paint supplies in, and everything else that you need can be found over there. This is why we wear gloves, by the way. People always ask, why do you wear gloves? Like, some dude asked on my book of faces earlier today. He asked, what's with the gloves? I was like, and I responded literally, quote, I was like, well, generally they keep your hands clean, with like the shoulder shrug emoji guy. Like, generally they keep your hands clean. That's the purpose of gloves. I don't know how else to answer your question, but yeah, came out awesome. Guys, look at this. Different crashing waves, right? Different spray, different angle, different surf. Every time we do these things, we do them differently. Seriously. And they're like, Josh, how many different ways can you paint a seascape? 1,000,000 different ways. Like, literally every time we do it, it comes out differently. So, let's see. That's funny. Man, you guys are insane. Oh, about the stencils. Yes, thank you, Todd. So, let's see. Where is a stencil painting that I could show you? Do I not have literally any of them? All right, guys, hang out right here. I'm going to run in the back and grab one of these to show you. Hello, just sold this painting, you guys. Woo! As we walk away. So, the stencils that Todd was mentioning are something like this, where you get a little shape that is, well, hot dog, diggity dog. Thank you, I very much appreciate that. I love you for that. I appreciate it, right? So we do this 5 nights a week, right at 5 o'clock Pacific time and then 7 o'clock Pacific time, right? So the stencils are like this. You can either get one with a bat or a skull or a sea turtle. I have more than 50, you guys, seriously. Maybe not that many, but definitely more than 30. We've got different state shapes. We have different animal shapes. Bigfoot. We've got everything. We've got Baby Yoda and Mando. Just standing there, he's holding Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda's hands like reaching out towards his helmet. So, dude, we get the coolest stencils ever. And I'm in Eugene, Oregon, and we ship worldwide. And the stencils, same thing. We can get those and we can ship those. They're between 5 and 7, depending on the size. They fit a 16 by 20 inch canvas. Some of them fit smaller canvases, like this one. I would probably do on a 10 by 20. So it was very much filled the entire canvas versus a 16 by 20. But we've got different shapes of states, animals, paw prints, wolves, bears, moose, Bigfoot, like I said, trucks, Jeeps, motorcycles, blah, owls, tons of stuff. Lighthouses, tons of stuff as far as stencils, right? Even this guy. Right, so let's say you were to get the Oregon coast or the Oregon stencil. It comes in the shape of the state of Oregon, right? We're going to do the light party here in 1 second. If you wanted to get New York or South Carolina or Tennessee or Kentucky, we have all those states. If you live in a state where we don't have your state, select the custom choose your own state listing, and then I will print out that stencil for whatever state that you live in, right? So, do you wear wigs? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Now, let's just see who got this painting. Who grabbed this painting? Let me double check the old order box over here. Yes! Let me look at it. And like I said, we've got tons of other paintings over there and available. Jordan. Dude. All the way over there. Jordan, this is Jordan's second order. So Jordan, come forth and claim your painting in the comments now. How much? This one was $259 based on that size. This guy's a little bit smaller and there's less painted area. So he's at $179, right? Then we do the Oregon coast ones. We've got different things. I've got skulls. I've got a Spartan helmet stencil. We've got all sorts of stuff over there. You just got to go check it out, right? And in order to find the stencils, all you do is go to my site, PaintWithJosh, And then you scroll past this one, which is the first thing. Then you got something down, the black, the bat is the second thing. And then right underneath that are the oval shapes and the stencil cutouts. And so, Jordan, what's happening, dude? So just because your name doesn't match perfectly, Joey, I'm not assuming it's not you, but just give me the last 2 digits of your zip code, and that will signify that it is in fact you, right? So the last 2 digits of my zip code will be 02 up here in Oregon. So what are the last 2 digits of your code? And then we can confirm it's actually you, and then perfect. Joey, that's our guy right there. So Joey, we already titled the painting. But we're going to get to do a cool light party on the painting for you. And Max Squatch is here. See, all we had to do was say Bigfoot, and then Max Squatch showed up. You see that? See how that happens right there? So everybody say hi to Mac. And let's all give Joey a follow, since Joey got the painting during the live show. And now we're going to do the light party. The light party. Meaning, I'm going to give you a flash warning right now. No, not this. Like a light flash warning. The screen's going to go crazy. We're going to shoot red, green, and blue light at the canvas, and it's going to flash like crazy. So if you're sensitive to flashes, turn your phone away. I know it's hard, but don't look at it for the next 30 seconds while we do the light party. If you are going to stay for the light party, I need you to use your 2 thumbs and type in the words "I'm ready" and then hit send, and then keep your thumbs ready on your device, or if you're at a computer or whatever, right? Keep them ready, and then tell me the first thing that flashes for you or flashes the most for you. When I see enough "I'm readies," we're going to start the light party, and we're going to do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light party! So what's flashing for you the most? What's going the most mentally crazy in your eye? Tell me now. Yes! Over here in the night. Bring it back down to normal lighting conditions. If you were sensitive, you may now look back. Everything is back to normal and good. The waves, the dark blue, ooh, I like it. Right, you guys were looking at all the stuff out there, okay? I like it. The birds were moving, that's cool. We're gonna do one more thing, okay? We're going to do what we call an RGB party now. So if you're light sensitive, that's okay. Because all we're going to do is flash one single beam of red light at the canvas, all red light, and then all green light, and then all blue light. And it's going to make the painting look differently on your screen, okay? So when we do this next thing, all I need you to do is just tell me what color was your favorite. I'm going to go through red, I'm going to go through green, I'm going to go through blue, and I'm going to ask it, as we do those, what is your favorite out of the 3 colors? We're going to go red in 3, 2, 1, red. Oh, look at it. It's like the devil's seascape. Oh, going to go green. 3, 2, 1, green. Oh, look at the vibrancy. Woo, baby. Going blue in 3, 2, blue. Oh, it's like a nighttime painting now, guys. It's almost invisible. So stinking gorgeous. So the lights are now coming back to normal. You may now look back at your screen. We're back at normal lighting condition. And everything's looking fantastic. So what was your favorite out of the 3 colors, since I had to go way over to my light par to get them? Green was your favorite? I usually love red, right? If we have a black canvas base, red makes it just wake it. But I agree with you guys. Green looks coolest on this one. The purple, says Max Squatch. You want me to do purple? I can hit purple. Like that pinkish purple that's around my thing. We can do that. Watch. Bet money we can do purple. Okay. We're going to do green down. Oh, I didn't even have to change it. Look at that. Look at the purple light. Just to show you, it is purpley pink in here, right? Wicked cool. It doesn't really change it that much, but cool enough on its own. And all we had to do was lose the green to make the purple. Man, the things you learn when you start messing around with lighting, right? That's my favorite. That's why I always have it pinky purple around the back. You can even see right down here is purple, right down up there is pink, because one of the lights is flashing purple and one is showing red. And so when they mix together, it kind of makes this purpley hue behind my my easel. So purple is pretty too. It's more of like a pinky purple, but either way, right? You guys are amazing. I love purple wins. I do love you guys. I've got so many other paintings available, you guys. Different little winter scenes or Oregon coast scenes, waterfall scenes, northern lights paintings, big crashing waves, volcanoes, sunsets, all sorts of stuff. But you got to go find it on my site, Paint with Josh. Head over there, check them out, put them in your cart, come back and tell us which one you got, right? So, beyond that, we'll be back again live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is when? 8 o'clock on the East Coast. And then we normally come back around 6:45, 7, sometimes 7:30 on the West Coast, which would be 9:45 to 10:30 on the East Coast. That is our second show start time, roughly within that bracket, right? So, beyond that, this one came out amazing. It took us about 50 minutes just messing about up here, hanging out with you guys, trying to have fun and showing you some really cool stuff. Look at this guy. Ooh, I can feel the waves. The wind is like splashing on me. Seriously, I went out to the coast on Tuesday and I just stood there, like just literally stood there for at least 15 minutes without moving, just standing in the wet sand 10 feet from the tide, right? And just watching it. And how it rolls and how it goes from one side to the other, and how they meet in the middle sometime. Just stood there and watched and watched and watched. Right? A different shape of wave like this, where everything is all, it's kind of done the up and then flapped its way over and then hit. Everything falling all at once. Everything's different, right? Some are a bit further back, some are a bit closer, and you can tell by the height levels all throughout the thing. Just wicked, just wicked. Like literally, if you're gonna paint waves, you don't even have to paint the top rolly bit. Just throw a cloud out there in the ocean, basically. That's all it is a cloud with a couple little flicks of white water on top of it, honestly. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate you, my guy. One more tonight. Oof. No, I can't. No. No more. No more tonight. We'll do another one tomorrow. We do have some cooler stuff. I mean, maybe if like I were able to shift a couple of these less expensive paintings, then I might come back for a third show, but we didn't sell the first show. We did on this one, which is amazing, right? But yeah, I don't think I'll be back for a third. Please don't do that to me, because then I feel bad for leaving. And I've already done my 2 shows tonight, right? And then you make me feel bad for not staying extra and doing a third one. You're pulling on my heartstrings right here. No, I can't. Seriously. Please. I know. I love you. I love you. I love that you want me to come back so badly and that there's nothing else that you would rather watch besides me. I absolutely love it. No pressure. It's not about being tired, but I do got my daughter at home, and I mean, she's already eaten. She doesn't care if I'm there anyway. Honestly, she's 13, right? So, okay, Dad. Dad. Okay. No. Like, do I really want to go home, or do I want to hang out with you guys and paint again? Meh. No, seriously, I should probably go home though. Even though she doesn't want me there, and wouldn't even mind if I was there or not. Because they're teenagers, that's how they are. And then, okay, go paint with me in spirit then, please. Absolutely, paint with me in spirit. I just released a brand new tutorial earlier today with a very similar wave, but inside of our sea turtle cutout. I've got time, I could show it to you. Hang on. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Don't leave. Everything's falling over. So this guy is a brand new tutorial that we did earlier today. Same sort of wave shape, except this one's inside of a sea turtle. And then we had the palm trees and stuff, of course, right? But same wave shape as this guy. And it was all based off of my trip to the coast the other day, right? Came out really cool. So like I said, if you're into sea turtles, bro, we've got lots of sea turtle cutouts and stencils that you can put on your painting and then paint a really cool scene and then peel it off, which is what we all love doing, right? That's the best part about them. Best, right? The little sea turtle is so cute. But I just put that one out earlier today. So it might have a couple hundred views. It's in the videos section, right? Most of my paintings are in the live section. This one is actually in the videos section because it's a tutorial video versus a live video. So you can go watch the turtle, see how it starts, see how it ends. And then inside the description of that tube video is the link for those turtles specifically. So you can just scroll down the description, click it, and then order your own turtles, put them on your canvas, paint your scene, and then peel them off. That's gonna be really cool. Let's see. That's okay, D-Ship. I have done that too. And I think literally everyone who's ever painted more than a couple paintings has thrown one, like picked it up right off the easel, said, fuck this guy, right into the garbage, put a new one on the easel and tried it again, right? Is that what happened? That's what happened to me. I was like, looking at it like, oh my God, like off the thing, right in the big garbage can outside in the garage, like right into the big can, all wet still, didn't even care. Went back in, put a new one on the easel, and then started over again. You know what I mean? Don't let those times get you down, right? And here's one very important piece of advice, okay? And truth. I'm gonna hit you with some, I'm gonna bitch slap you with some truth right here, like Will Ferrell would say. So, not every painting, like you're going to improve. The more paintings you do, the more you're going to improve, right? But not every painting is gonna be better than your last one. Sometimes you forget and you take 3 steps back and you go, what the happened? I've done this before. How come it did? Like what? And then you go paint it again, take your other steps forward until you pass that point, and you keep moving forward. And then eventually you're gonna hit another spot where you're gonna take 3 steps back and go, fuck, I've done this before. Why can't I do this now? And boom, try it again, and you be going, right? So don't worry about it. And that's okay too. I thought we were in the same spot. It was my third, I think it was my third painting or fourth painting, one of the two. I was like, okay, I've watched 2 Bob Ross videos. I painted along with him. They seem very easy for me. And I was like, so I'm gonna make up my own. I'll just do it like Bob, and I'll just make up my own shit, right? That's the one that went right into the garbage, just like with many other people. Guys, if you're in the comments now and that's happened to you, say so. Mac, have you ever thrown a painting away that you didn't like? TMH, right? Have you ever tossed a painting? You were just like, you finished it and you were like, no one should ever see this thing ever. I shouldn't even see it. And it's going right in the garbage. Anyone else? Right? Anyone? No one else? Just me and D-Ship? Right. Thrown away several. Because, like, you don't want anyone. You don't even want to take a picture of it. I don't even want to have proof that this existed ever. Right off the thing, into the garbage, start a new one, right? Like 2 days ago. See? You're not the only person. I'm telling you. Happens to everybody. Spray painted over it. So what I do, too, nowadays, right? Before, it was like I said, it was like my 4th one. I had probably 30 canvases because I went all crazy at Michael's, right? So I was like, I'll throw this one away and get another one. Now, if I don't like one or if it sits for a long time, I can sand it down or like black gesso over the top of it. And so it becomes a new fresh canvas to paint on. But wash it in the sink, that'll work too. Do you ever get in a rut? I'm in one now. And this was your second rut in a row? It's almost impossible for me to get into a rut because of how often that I have to paint, right? Like you guys expect me to paint 10 paintings a week or more sometimes. And some days I don't feel like getting up here and being fun and I'm just not in the mood. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those days where I just, oh my God, like I'm sitting there and it's like, we're talking like 4:45 or like 15 minutes to go before the show. And I'm like, I don't even want to get up and paint. I'm just fucking sitting here, please. But I know that there's one person out there in the world that can only watch me Thursday night at 5 p.m. or Thursday at 7 or Friday at this time or this or that. And there's that one person that I don't want to disappoint. And so no matter how much of a run I'm in or how much I just don't feel like doing it or I just don't even feel like I have the energy, I still come up and I still do it. Just because of you guys, literally. That one person that's going to be like, oh, what happened to Josh? I always watch him on Thursdays. It's the only night off from work that I can watch him and I didn't get to see him. That fucking bums me out. You know what I mean? So, God, as much as I want to stop sometimes, I can't because of you guys, honestly. Because of you guys. Oh, second painting in a row you threw away. Same thing, though. Same thing. It's all good. You'll figure it out. Just keep going. just keep going, throwing some shit up there. I always say too, it's like, you can't expect, you know, every painting to be a masterpiece, right? Because what you do, at least what I do, is I pull from different paintings. I go, hey, I really liked how I did those clouds in that one painting. So I'm gonna try to do those clouds here. And then I really like how I did the waves in the earlier painting today. So I'm gonna try to do those paint right here. And I really like how I was doing this surf, but in this other paint. And so I try to pull my favorite parts from every painting, mash them all together, get your masterpiece. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, and a lot of times too, take a step back, at least like 6 feet away from your painting, or take a photo of it and look at the photo versus here, right? If we're up here and we're only focusing on this one spot, I can't see any of this. I can barely see this. I can't see anything down here, right? Because I'm focused in that one little area. When you back up and you look at it as all one piece, then you go, okay, all right. That part, I don't like it, but I can do it better next time. But all in all, it's not that bad, right? But if you're up here, you're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I can't, it's this, and I'm just trying to, right? Back up, take a step back, look at it again, and be like, okay, all right, I like this, I like that. Maybe next time I do it, I'll change this thing, and then I'll do that thing the same because I like it. I'll do this different, and then boom, it'll be great, right? So you just have to, and this is my best, but thank you, I appreciate that. We kind of modeled them off of the waves I painted earlier for the sea turtle tutorial that came out looking like this guy. And dude, and we were just talking about doing better watching tutorials. Absolutely, because someone's telling you what to do, right? It takes a lot of paintings to be able, for the canvas to tell you what it wants you to do, right? That takes a lot of practice. For me to put out those clouds and then go, okay, based off of those clouds, I know right where to put my horizon. Based off my horizon, I know right where to put my waves, right where to put my surf, right where to put my sand, right where to put my speckles, right? That's from 2,000 plus paintings. If you're sitting there trying to make it up, you better have a damn good idea about what you want it to look like first before going in. Otherwise, you're just going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be like, well, I love my clouds, but I don't know what else to do. I don't know where to put the next thing because no one's telling me how to do it, right? And, you know, after a couple hundred paintings, you can start knocking them out like you know what you're doing. I pretend like I know what I'm doing, right? I know nothing. Literally, I didn't go to art school. I don't know color theory. Pick anything out of an art book, I'll probably get it wrong because I taught myself. And I do things my own way. Sure, I learned from Bob Ross, but I broke away from him, and now I do things a little bit easier, I think. We have a little bit more time. We can teach it in an easier way to understand, which is why I think I have so many damn followers. It's crazy. Thanks, Katie. I appreciate you. Katie's like my little sis. She's not like literally my little sister, but I think of her like me like 4 years ago, right? She's where I was 4 years ago, and then I took off like this. And so I always try to help out Katie. If you can, give Katie a follow, please. Somebody pin Katie to the top. Let me do it. There we go. Katie's cool. She's taken a couple of virtual classes from me. She paints herself. She comes up with her own ideas, does her own live shows, and you know what I mean? And she's pretty talented, literally. So let's see. Yeah, never went to art school once. I've never even taken a painting class, like those wine and paints or Pinot's palette or sipping. Never been to a single one. I cannot draw. If you give me a pencil, I cannot draw. The brush does it for me. You know what I mean? I don't do anything. I don't know anything. I don't do anything. I just know what works for me, and I know how to take that and break it down in an easy way for you to understand, right? And then when you do the same things, you'll have very close to the same results, honestly. Oh, you're her mod? That's awesome. I'm blocking you. No, I'm just kidding. I love Katie, too. We all love Katie. Katie, did you see my little... I just put out a new sea turtle tutorial. I don't know if Katie's gotten the stencils yet. I don't think so. But Katie, you should get some stencils because I think your customers would like to see what you would paint on a stencil. No, Pitbull love. I am not doing another painting. I've already done my 2 today, and I've got my kiddo at home. So I'm going to wrap everything up, clean up, wipe up, go take photos, send them to our purchaser, and then post it onto Facebook. Dude, there's so much shit I have to do after the live ends before I can even go home. It's like a good 40 minutes sitting at the studio doing all that. How long did it take me to get good at mountains? My very first painting is right over there. Wicked mountain. So I guess I was good at mountains from the get-go. It took me a long time to do seascapes. I was afraid that I would look silly because I do everything live. I didn't know how to do them. I didn't want to look dumb, and so I never painted the seascapes until I figured out how much easier they are than doing a mountainscape to do a seascape, right? Thank you, Adam. Michael, Adam, can someone get rid of that guy, please? For fuck's sake. You come into my own show and tell me to stop talking. I'll do it. I want to do it. Hang on. There we go. This guy. Confirm. Thank you. You can come into my own show and tell me to stop talking in my own show? You're gone, buddy. You are gone. Man, that felt good. God, is that what you mods feel like when you get to do that to somebody? Man alive. Dang, that's cool. Is that, yeah, you guys feel like that? That's cool. I love that, right? Oh, stop talking. You, like, seriously, scroll away. Oh my God. All right, either way. He has been bliggity blocked, so that's fine. I am so done with people's shitty attitudes, bro. Seriously. Like, I understand you're having a bad day. It doesn't mean you got to make everyone else's day just as bad as your day, right? That's what the internet is for. It's for making your day just as bad as their day is going. And I'm not going to let that happen. You want to know why? Because Confucius say, I can't remember exactly what it is, but you shouldn't let anyone else's attitude affect your own, which I'm not going to allow that to happen. So, boom, fuck that guy. I hope all you guys have a great night. And it's going to be fantastic. We'll be back here tomorrow. No, I'm not going to go get the first one. I'll show you tomorrow, right? Been here for too long. Too long. So if you want to see the first painting I've ever done, come back tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So until a fucking Evil J. That's the second person blocked from the show. Evil J. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yes, it's actually mustard and mayonnaise that we use to make this painting. So it's not acrylic, it's condiments, actually. Fabulous. Okay, I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. And he's immune from it. Evil J is like the biggest, like, happy troll. You know what I mean? Like, he tries to get me to answer his question, even though he already knows that it's not acrylic. He tries to get me slacking, catch me slacking, and answer one of his questions. And so he's like, he trolls me, but it's funny. And like, so he's a good one. He's a good one. But yeah, a lot of times I'll be like, no, this is oil. And then I go, damn it, that was from Evil J. He totally got me. Because people ask me all the time, is this acrylic or is it oils? And so most of the time I'm like, it's oils. I'm like, Evil J, you mother. So I love you guys. I can't wait to come back, and we'll do it again tomorrow. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Oh, come on. Have the rest of a good day, and bye.